Andrews, City of Chicago's Chief Procurement Officer, and I want to thank you all for attending the first session of the 2021 Construction Summit. It is also worth noting that this is our first virtual construction summit, so we are really grateful to all of you who have signed on to join us on this ride. We ask for you to bear with us, and in case there are technical difficulties, please make certain to use the Q&A chat session to share with us if there's anything that we can do to help the experience be more enjoyable. With that said, this is our 9th annual summit, and we're super excited to be here today, and we think that you're going to have a really full day of really great information designed to help you be successful with doing business here at the City of Chicago. Really quickly, I would be remiss not to say that under Mayor Lori Lightfoot's leadership, we are committed to the highest level of transparency, and we want to continue to bring information and resources so that businesses throughout all of Chicagoland can grow and thrive. We're really excited to say that the mayor has recorded a special video to welcome all of you and, quite frankly, to highlight some of the initiatives that have been done under her administration to assist our MWBE firms. That you're going to find a link in the chat that will take you directly to that video. And so many of you may know that the mayor recently introduced a series of transformative initiatives that are designed to bring greater equity and assistance to our diverse business community. There were 3 elements to it. One was the Vendor Impact Fund, which was designed to provide financial assistance to certified MWBE firms that currently have City of Chicago contracts. She also has brought together a prompt payment working group designed to address issues related to payment throughout the City of Chicago contracting process. And in addition to that, she signed an executive order which is focused on enhanced reporting as well as corporate responsibility with diverse firms outside of city contracting. And all of these things have been designed to level the playing field for all of our diverse businesses. We are grateful for the mayor's leadership on these issues, and we as a department here at the Department of Procurement Services continue to strive to find innovative ways to give the business community the tools that they need to not only compete, but to earn city contracts. Before we get to what I believe is one of the hottest tickets on today's agenda, which would be our friends from the Chicago Department of Transportation, otherwise known as CDOT. They are this year's headliners in terms of kicking off today's activities. I would like to bring your attention to a group of new resources that are launching today. We've published a 4-volume set of resource guides that are designed to assist businesses to learn more about and to have easy resource guide to having answers to questions related to the procurement process. The guides are available for download on our website. We'll be providing a link to that as well, and we hope that you check them out and make certain that folks in your organization have access to them. And really, we hope that they are a resource and tool for assisting you in doing business here at the City of Chicago. So with that said, while I could go on, I think that what you're all here today to hear about is what's going on in infrastructure projects and construction at the City of Chicago. As you know, this mayor has announced a very robust capital plan related to infrastructure, and she is committed to ensuring that all of our infrastructure departments have the resources that they need so that we can help put businesses back to work, so that we can help the workforce go back to work, and so that we can improve this great city of ours. With that, it is my pleasure to welcome my colleague. We are super excited to have her kick off her department's presentation, Gia Biaggi, who's the commissioner with the Chicago Department of Transportation, and she's doing wonderful things there. And under her leadership, we are super excited to partner with her to ensure that they have what they need as we go into the construction season and beyond. So with that, I want to thank you all again for signing up for today's event. You're in for a treat. in terms of hearing from the Department of Transportation, and we look forward to getting your feedback on today's activities. Welcome and enjoy the event. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, Commissioner Andrews. Can everyone hear me? Give me a thumbs up. Awesome. Okay. Well, thank you so much. And we wouldn't be here if it weren't for the efforts of our mayor and Commissioner Andrews, who's been really incredible. Her team has really helped us to move light years forward in what we can do, not only in getting projects out the door, but putting people back to work. That's what we're here to do. And a big part of Chicago's recovery is investments in infrastructure. So my colleague, Nate Roseberry, who's our Assistant Chief Highway Engineer, is on the line, the indomitable Nate Roseberry, who will talk through some of the really exciting projects that we have in front of us. I just wanted to provide a little bit of context just about where we are. And Commissioner Andrews mentioned that we have in front of us this really unique opportunity to make investments in infrastructure. And this is Mayor Lightfoot's Chicago Works Capital Improvement Program. We are the city that works, and we're putting people to work through it. And so what that is we spent the last year taking a look at, how do we catch up on infrastructure and move the city forward at the same time? And we recognize that at a bare minimum, we have almost a $5 billion infrastructure need. And so the mayor said, well, let's take that on. And while we're waiting for the feds to come up with an infrastructure bill and fingers crossed on all of that, we know we had to go it alone and just get started. And so what we did was we recognized the different needs across our categories of work that I'll touch on in a second. But what we have in front of us is a $3.7 billion program to invest in our bridges, our viaducts, streets, sidewalks, lighting, all the things that you touch the minute you step out your front door and it's under your feet or above your head. Those are things that we work on here at CDOT. And so we have our first tranche of funds. It's $1.4 billion approved by City Council. And we've spent the entire winter really hustling alongside procurement and human resources to get everybody ready for the Chicago Works program. So a couple things about it. It's needs-based. It's data-driven, and it's equity-focused. Those are really three important pillars, and we're touching infrastructure. You'll hear about facilities and fleet and equipment from AIS coming up, but it's also about economic development. How do we revitalize neighborhoods by where we put a shovel in the ground? And then it's about getting future-proof, right? Modernization, making sure that we're making investments that last a lifetime. So you'll hear from Nate on things that touch everything from tree planting to traffic signal modernization, a lot of streetscapes. We're all about the streets and making sure that our communities are walkable, accessible, and are individual economic centers of prosperity unto themselves. So the way that we pick projects, and you'll see them here, is everything from condition assessment, things like our pavement condition index, our streetlight vision data, where now our streetlights can tell us when they're out and where the network needs to be fixed, all the way down to engineering surveys. And then we do a lot of coordination. The Mayor's Invest South and West initiative that really focuses on areas of economic hardship and areas of mobility hardship. Those are criteria for where we're making investments as well in projects. And so this is, again, a program like we haven't seen in decades, and we're moving heaven and earth to get the shovels in the ground. So before I turn it over to Nate, I just want to emphasize how important it is that we make inroads both on making sure that our contractors and our workforce look like the city of Chicago. We want to make sure everybody's represented. And so we're working hard, whether it's with the Chicago Cook Workforce Partnership, whether it's with contractors like you or on the line. We don't just want to meet our goals, we want to beat our goals every time with minority contracting, women-owned contracting, veteran-owned contracting. We want it all, and we know we can do it here. So I am so excited to be here talking about this. We're happy to go through the projects today, and we need your partnership. We're only part of the delivery system here. Everybody on this line, we have to pull on the same rope in the same direction and get these projects going, not just for today, but for Chicago's future. So with that, I'll pass it on to Nate. Thanks again, Commissioner Andrews. It's a delight to be here, and thanks for everybody for joining the call.
Great, thanks, Commissioner. Thank you all very much for having me here today. If you can please promote me, I'll go ahead and share my screen. Great, thank you. Can you all see my screen all right?
Yes, we see it.
Great.
Could you go
Thank you.
down to one screen though? We are seeing multiples.
Sure. Let me try resharing that. Never fails, right?
Well, I think if you have a dual screen, that's part of it. It's just showing us your next screen before you get to your next screen. But
Let me try again.
we could see it real well though.
Sorry, guys. Appreciate your patience.
Perfect. And then if you go to the up to the top where it says display settings and just choose your one monitor, I think we would get down to that one big screen.
Okay. Display settings. I apologize, guys. My first time doing it on this computer.
Nathan, I'm personally impressed. So you're good to go. We are this is our first virtual experience, and so we are more than welcome because we know you've got some good stuff to talk about. So
Sure. So I'm gonna go ahead and just we're gonna run with a not presenter mode, but it's gonna be pretty close. Well, how about that? Everyone can see my screen, okay?
Yes.
Great. We'll just run through it this way, and
If you go to the bottom, Nate, the bottom line, and click on the bottom bar next to the negative sign, that would maximize your screen there.
how about that? A little better?
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Okay, great. Well, thank you all very much for having me here today and the patience for us to get up and going. As the commissioner mentioned, we have a lot of great work coming up in the near term, and you're going to see even more work coming in the coming years with our initiatives to really try to focus in on those state of good repair improvements, but also looking to make sure that we're thinking about all modes of travel, people who bike, people who walk, people who take transit, and people who drive, thinking about safety and thinking about supporting the local economy. I actually have this slide on the front to really kind of highlight that. This is the improvements we're looking at on Milwaukee Avenue, focusing in on the Logan Square improvements here, where we're actually looking to really reconfigure the intersection. We were going to rebuild it, but we didn't want to rebuild it exactly the same way. We saw opportunities to improve connectivity and activate the space, provide more space for people to enjoy, while we make sure that they have opportunities to get around. So today I'm going to walk you through contracting opportunities by different categories. So we'll walk through street reconstruction and resurfacing projects first. The next, we'll walk into those streetscapes the commissioner mentioned, looking to revitalize different corridors. We'll go into bridge reconstruction and rehabilitation, and then we'll finish off with engineering services and construction management opportunities, really the professional service end of the opportunities. So the first category is street reconstruction and resurfacing. The first project wanted to highlight, so CDOT is supporting a lot of the improvements you'll see in Jackson Park for the Obama Presidential Center. I'm happy to report we have finalized the federal review and will be moving into construction later this year. We anticipate bidding the project second quarter and starting construction in third quarter for our first bid set, which will include the roadways on Lakeshore Drive from Hayes to 57th, Hayes Drive from Stony Island to Lakeshore, Stony Island from 64th to 59th, and then a small section of Midway Plaisance from Stony Island to Cornell. These improvements will include widening roadways, reconfiguring roadways. They'll include new landscaping, new pedestrian underpasses, 3 of them, widening existing bridges, A lot of traffic signal work. We'll be modernizing or installing new. I think there'll be 3 new traffic signals with this contract. And these improvements will allow for more and better connected park space in Jackson Park, really trying to make sure we're providing that recreational opportunity and allow for the construction of the Obama Presidential Center that'll be running in parallel. Next project I wanted to highlight is our arterial surfacing contracts. So we anticipate releasing our 2020 Fed-funded series of arterial resurfacing projects. This will be 4 different contracts. They are geographically based. There's a north, a central, a south, and a far south contract. Totals of 41.15 miles, about 10 miles per contract. With this work, you'll see it's predominantly asphalt based, so it's milling and resurfacing the roadways. We do make sure to make everything ADA compliant, so you'll see concrete work, especially at the corners. And you'll also see those complete streets and safety improvements. So you'll see modifications including curb extensions, refuge islands, bike lanes, and new pavement markings. We anticipate this being bid as well in second quarter, with construction starting in third quarter, and really looking to focus to try to finalize construction this year. The next project was the one I showed on the first page, the Milwaukee Avenue project. This is Milwaukee Avenue, Logan to Belmont. It includes, it's a full right-of-way project, so we will be rebuilding the entire right-of-way, sidewalk, roadways, and the like. It's the 5th section. We've been working our way north from northwest to southeast on Milwaukee. Most recent reconstruction was Addison to Belmont, so this will pick up there. Move southeast from Belmont down to Logan. So it will include sidewalk work, curb and gutter, roadway resurfacing and reconstruction, street lighting, landscaping, traffic signal modernizations, and new traffic signals. It'll also include a lot of plaza work. So we'll be focusing in on the 2 plazas internal to the Logan Square intersection and the Kedzie Plaza to improve those areas and activate those spaces. This one does include federal and local funds. We anticipate bidding it third quarter this year, starting construction by the end of the year, and construction lasting approximately 2 construction seasons. The next section is Lake, Ashland to Halstead. This is another roadway reconstruction project. We are looking to lower Lake Street from Ashland to Ogden. We've been working on Lake Street west of here, lowering the roadway to improve that vertical clearance for the larger vehicles that need to get through. That last stretch at Ashland and Ogden will provide access to larger vehicles to get to the interstates via Ashland or Ogden. While we're doing that, though, we're also looking at all modes, and there'll be a focus in on the pedestrian realm. So really that sidewalk space of providing a consistent design throughout, providing street lighting and furniture and design in that sidewalk space, really looking at their safety and comfort. So you'll see curb extensions and widened sidewalks and the like. There's also a proposal for bike accommodation. There's existing bike facilities to the west, and so extending those further east to get to the bike corridor on Halstead. This is a locally funded project. So we utilize TIF funds. We anticipate bidding at third quarter 2021, construction starting fourth quarter 2021, with construction wrapping up fourth quarter 2022. So about a year's worth of construction. The next reconstruction project is Grand Avenue, Damon to Ogden. We just bid the project to the west of here, Chicago to Damon, so that construction will be starting this year. So this is continuing our roadway improvements on Grand, moving from west to east. This will be a locally funded construction project. It'll be right-of-way to right-of-way. So we'll be rebuilding the sidewalk, curb and gutter, and the roadway, installing new lighting, new trees, modernizing 3 traffic signals, and then looking at pedestrian level safety improvements at intersections, so curb extensions and raised crosswalks. We anticipate this project being bid third quarter, starting construction by the end of the year, and taking approximately 1 construction season to complete. The next group of projects are streetscape projects. First project is 71st Street. This is the second section of the project. It's a continuation of previous work in the area on Jeffrey. This will be improvements between the right-of-way and building face that were improvements between the right-of-way and the building face were previously completed. Those improvements included new lighting, new sidewalk, curb and gutter, light pole, community identifier signs, site furnishing, pavers, and trees. This second phase will be focused more on the roadway. So there will be full width roadway resurfacing and pavement markings. It'll include new bike lanes along 71st, creating a bike connection between Jeffrey and the Lakefront Trail. There'll also be pedestrian crossing improvements at Metra tracks, enhanced crosswalks and ADA ramps. There'll be a travel lane reduction to reduce speeds and crashes, so taking it down to a consistent cross-section of a single lane. And then architectural fencing across the Metra tracks, really to help to improve safety with those interactions with the trains. This is a very unique street where we have at-grade trains in the center of the roadway. This includes federal and local funds. We anticipate bidding this project second quarter, construction starting third quarter, and taking about and wrapping up second quarter next year. So a little less than a year to complete. The next streetscape project is really focusing on a singular intersection. It's the intersection of Lincoln, Ashland, and Belmont. This project it does include a couple side streets as well. It's on Lincoln from Wellington to Melrose, on Ashland from Barry to School, and Belmont approximately 100 feet west of Ashland to Southport. So the intersection, but just kind of surrounding area as well. There'll be sidewalk extensions at 3 key intersections along Lincoln, plaza space to be expanded and unified with this project, intersection reconfiguration, and you'll see the bike lanes along Lincoln with the project, sidewalk vault reconstruction, new sidewalks, bump outs, curb and gutter, ADA ramps and crosswalks, improved drainage, so focus on the drainage at the intersection, traffic signal work. There'll obviously be a modernization here, and other locations include traffic improvements, new street and pedestrian lighting and light pole identifiers, and it also includes trees, landscaping, and sidewalk furnishing. This project includes federal and local funding. Anticipate bidding this project second quarter this year, starting construction third quarter, and lasting through the end of 2022. The next project is Lawrence Avenue, the second section of the streetscape project. This is western to the Chicago River. The project includes new, wider sidewalks, curb and gutter, bump outs, ADA ramps, crosswalks, and pedestrian refuge islands, bike lane improvements on Lawrence and Francisco, full width resurfacing, new straight and pedestrian lighting, parkway paver treatments, site furnishings, tree planting and landscapings, and community identifiers. We anticipate this project starting second quarter 2021. We anticipate bidding this project second quarter 2021, with construction starting third quarter and lasting through the end of 2022. The next streetscape project is along Pulaski from Rosemont to Devon. This project includes new sidewalks, curb and gutter, ADA ramps and crosswalks, full width resurfacing, new piggyback acorn lighting, so it'll be adding to the existing lighting that's out there, parkway improvements, tree planting, and it includes a raised crosswalk at the Rosemont intersection. We anticipate bidding this project second quarter 2021, with construction starting third quarter and lasting through third quarter 2022. The last project is on Fullerton from Narragansett to Lockwood. The project scope includes pedestrian safety and infrastructure improvements, including full width resurfacing and patching, curb extensions and refuge islands along the corridor, new street lighting, sidewalk, curb and gutter, ADA ramps and crosswalks, and tree planting. We anticipate bidding this project second quarter 2021, with construction starting third quarter and lasting through the end of next year. The next section is on bridge reconstruction projects. The first project I wanted to highlight is the Harrison Street Viaduct. So this is Harrison Street between Canal and the Chicago River. The structure was originally built in 1921 and is a 22-span structure with an approximate length of 775 feet and an overall deck width of approximately 65 feet. The structure is located between Canal and Chicago River and spans the Union Station Railroad tracks and the post office yard. The work will include reconstructing the existing viaduct, which will include reconstruction of the deck, piers, drainage systems, lighting, and lower level pavement while reusing existing foundations. We anticipate this project bidding next quarter, with construction starting third quarter and lasting through the first quarter of 2023. The next project is the 31st Bridge over the Metra Cn Railroad. This location is in historic Burnham Park. It was originally built in 1926. Both the superstructure and substructure will be replaced due to the deteriorated condition. Deck width will be increased and the architectural facade will be replicated. New sidewalk lighting and drainage will be installed to current standards. We anticipate this project being bid next quarter, with construction starting third quarter and lasting through the end of 2022. The next project to highlight is the Bridge Painting Program. This is contract number 8 of that series. The scope consists of sandblasting, cleaning, and painting structures. Sandblasting removes built-up rust and existing lead-based paint from the steel. A 3-coat system is then applied to protect it from further corrosion, and this project will be focused on East Wacker Drive. We anticipate bidding this project next quarter, with construction starting third quarter 2021 and lasting through second quarter 2022. Next project is the Cicero Avenue Bascule Bridge repairs. This structure is a double-leaf, multi-trunnium type bascule bridge. The bridge is approximately 300 feet long with a roadway width of approximately 75 feet and an out-to-out deck width of approximately 100 feet. Movable leaves of the bridge are not operable. This bridge was originally constructed in 1927. The repairs here are really focused on the center break and grading. These are temporary repairs in advance of a future capital project at this location. We anticipate this occurring in staged construction, so no full closures, and lasting about 3 months. We anticipate bidding this project third quarter, with construction starting in fourth quarter and wrapping around till first quarter 2022. Next project is the Cermak Road 47th to Kilbourne Viaduct vertical clearance improvement. This structure, this is a project where we're looking to actually lower the road under the existing viaduct. There's an existing rail viaduct here that restricts access to the industrial uses east of the viaduct, and those trucks really are aiming to get to Cicero to get to the interstates. We've also seen a pattern of, unfortunately, pretty bad crashes at this location as well. So there'll be a focus on safety improvements. The project will include lowering the roadway and with that reconstructing basically right-of-way to right-of-way with new sidewalk, new roadway, new drainage, as well as installing those safety improvements at the edges of the piers. We do not anticipate reconstruction of the bridge itself, but there would be some minor work just to make sure we shore up around the bridge for the reconstruction. We anticipate this project does include federal and state funds. We anticipate bidding at third quarter 2021, with construction starting fourth quarter and lasting approximately 1 year. The last project I wanted to highlight in the structural series is the Canal Street Viaduct. CDOT has been working on a series of projects across Canal. The first section would be Adams to Jackson. This would be replacement of the existing viaduct that's out there and reconfiguration to match the existing operations that have been put in as part of the transit improvements and access improvements around Union Station. We anticipate bidding this project third quarter, with construction starting fourth quarter and lasting through third quarter 2022. And you'll see in the future a series of projects along this Canal Street corridor with subsequent sections both north and south occurring in the next 4 years. I did want to wrap up with professional service as well. To get these projects designed and constructed, we obviously need assistance from consultant firms to implement them. You'll see here we have a variety of upcoming professional service opportunities, both for construction management, like on the Grand Avenue project from Damon to Ogden to cut to complement the reconstruction work I talked about earlier, as well as phase 1 designs like the ones on 106th and 95th Bascule bridges, and phase 1, phase 2 on Washington Street and Jackson Boulevard Bascule bridges. We are also looking to release a new master consultant agreement for engineering division. This would cover both the highway section, which I work in, and the structural section. I anticipate that coming out hopefully in second quarter this year. We'll also be releasing inspection, maintenance, and repair services for the Chicago Tunnel systems second quarter this year. We'll be focusing in on design contracts for the Boulevard system. We're looking to develop both a framework plan and also design services for implementing improvements along the Boulevard network. I anticipate seeing that second quarter this year. There'll also should be another master task order for complete streets. This is out of our project division of project development as well, second quarter. Community mobility benefits projects for the 75th CIP. That would be construction management services. I anticipate that second quarter this year. And finally, the LaSalle Street Bascule Bridge and Viaduct, again, construction management services. Anticipate that third quarter 2021. The one caveat I have with these is, obviously we are looking to implement a lot of different funding sources right now. So keep an eye out there for the existing masters you're pre-qualified on, because there may be additional task orders as we're able to move projects forward. With that, I'm happy to answer questions.
Thank you so much, Nathan. I'm just going to take a look through the Q&A and take the questions from there. So we've got a question about, will the Boulevard design contract be put out for open procurement to all firms or only through an existing task order process?
I would anticipate that to be issued as a task order.
Got it. Thank you. Folks, if anyone has questions, we certainly ask for you to go ahead and put those through the chat, or excuse me, through the Q&A panel, excuse me. Well, Nathan, it looks like you've had a very thorough presentation today.
Happy to do so.
Wonderful, Jackie. If you'll, okay, perfect. I was gonna say if you pull, throw the ball to me, thank you. Or you can share our PowerPoint. Perfect. So folks, just so everyone is aware, Nathan's presentation, the PowerPoint slides, the deck will be available on the Construction Summit website. In addition, we have recorded today's session, so this recording will also be available. We ask for some grace. We'll have that up and edited in a couple of days. So you certainly can check back at our website at www.chicago.gov/construction, and then that will take you through to the videos and as well as the PowerPoint decks. So a couple additional questions that are coming through. Will there be any presentation of CDOT planning efforts and professional service opportunities that exist as part of those?
I don't anticipate anything specifically for CDOT planning. We do talk with them, and I know the 75th the CIP project was a project they're helping to implement. So I'm not aware of any others right now, but we'll make sure to talk with them and see if we can add those into this presentation in the future.
Do you mean like engaging with the Department of Planning?
No, there's actually a planning section as well at CDOT. I'm guessing what that is, what the question is in relation to.
Got it. Perfect. So certainly we can follow up on that and then add that to upcoming presentations as you suggested. Question, what is the timing for the future State and Lake CTA station? Do you have a sense of that?
For construction of it, I don't. Happy to talk with the team to provide a status on that. I know they're in design. We We tried to make sure that we provided construction opportunities in the next basic year in this presentation, so I wouldn't anticipate anything this year. We'll make sure to include that in any future presentations as it gets closer to construction.
Got it. Thank you.
Sure.
Can you identify which of these projects are construction or CM RFPs, construction management RFPs?
Sure. So any of the projects I highlighted that were either phase 3 or CM would be the ones that would be coming out as task orders. So the Grand Avenue improvements, Damon to Ogden, would be an example of CM. The LaSalle Street Bascule Bridge and Viaduct would be an example of CM. And then the Community Mobility Benefits projects for the 75th CIP would be an example of CM opportunities.
And then was that marked accordingly on the presentation, or when we put the presentation online, we can address that question, I think, in the deck.
Yeah, it should be in there. If there's any further questions, happy to answer.
Perfect. There is a question on the table about the CM task order shortlist.
Sure. So,
do you have any insight on that?
Yeah, as of right now, we do have the target market CM master that we are utilizing for locally funded projects. So those firms should be aware of who's already approved on that list. If it's the federally funded one, just give me a second. We are still awaiting approval to submit that for firms, so I'd say keep an eye out for it, and hopefully that'll be something that'll be coming out.
Sure.
Hopefully in the near future.
Definitely. And then I'm certainly, I'm happy to put DPS's feedback email address in the chat. We can put that too to follow up on some of those questions that folks might have that we're not able to necessarily answer during the course of the session.
Sure.
So another question, does CDOT still have the open pre-qualification process for engineering and CM services?
Yes, I mean, we follow qualification-based selection for all of our contracts. So we will be looking for, with selection in individuals or the masters, we'll be looking for, identification. We utilize our pre-qualifications as well as IDOT's pre-qualifications for those selections.
Got it. Then there's the question, what is the approval process for the target market pool?
Sure. So both of those have already been approved. They were released out to a wide audience of potential firms, and from those firms, those that were demonstrated the capabilities to implement within certain categories were qualified for selection to be able to be sent individual task orders within those qualified categories.
Perfect. I think we have some questions that may have come through the chat, folks, if you'll bear with me. There is, a question, I think, kind of generally about how does the company get involved in task order projects. As Nathan has spoken about a little bit, the city goes out to bid to pull together a pool of a pool of vendors that have master consulting agreements. And from that pool is where the user department would, have the task order projects. One of the things that we at the Department of Procurement Services do, share with folks is that for businesses who are just kind of, looking to get involved or who want to, have some business development activities, some of the strategies certainly we've encouraged folks to do is to really, familiarize yourself with those individuals that are already have contracts within the pool. So we do actually teach a really good class. Rodney LeBeau, who's our chat facilitator here today, he teaches that class. It's called How to Navigate the DPS Website. And you can learn a lot about all the information that's available on the city website in terms of what are contracts are in existence, who's in who has a current contract, who's in a master consulting pool, wherein when they have task orders or issues, you could, before that happens, you can do some business development and learn about who those firms are. So who the firms are, their contact information, how to reach them, all those kinds of things are available on the city website, and we certainly would encourage folks to take one of our classes, particularly one about how to navigate the website in order to get some of that additional information.
Yeah, thank you, Kathy. I think one of the things I'd add from a CDOT perspective is, one of our goals with our projects is really cultivating the professional service environment that's out there, and really finding ways to help those firms, expand their capabilities. And so you'll see a lot of our proposals in the near future really utilizing those target market. We're really looking to develop those MBE and WB firms and provide those opportunities to them. So I would absolutely look at your connections there. On those proposals, we're also not looking for those to be 100% M&W. So, non-M&W firms could absolutely sub on those proposals and really help to provide, the experiences that sometimes are required to round out teams for selection.
Great, thank you, Nathan. Yeah, I mean, there's some similar questions like that. How can we submit as a sub on the CM Phase 3 project? And I think that, what we like to share with folks is that they really should acclimate themselves with who is the interested in bidding, who is the interested pool of bidders. And again, a lot of that information can be found on the city website in terms of what kinds of firms have worked on these projects before. When we have pre-bid conferences, who attends those, who's on the takeout list. So there's ways there to be able to ascertain who's participating and who's interested in these projects in order to kind of structure your own business development activities. Let's see here. Question: is any of the Phase 3 CM work non-task order based?
I don't see anything for the foreseeable future. We really look to utilize those task orders because most of our projects really fit within those scope. And it really helps to expedite so we can release more projects out there.
Question: for task order projects, would CDOT consider highlighting which opportunities would be specifically issued under task orders, whether it's design, DUR, surface transportation planning, or complete streets? This would help firms team with task order contract holders on upcoming opportunities.
Sure. So there's the two target markets that are available right now. There's the construction management and there's the design. So obviously any construction management would use that target market that's available right now. That target market design contract will be used by myself in the highway section. I just released 2 and we're planning to release a couple more. Our streetscape group has been utilizing the target market design master as well. So those are all for locally funded work. And you saw as well that we have 2 new masters coming up that would be non-target market, kind of more to the general pool. Those ones, there's the one for complete streets that would again be used by the Division of Project Development. So a lot of streetscapes design projects, potentially the planning section as well. And then there'll be one for engineering. So that'll be the structural and highway contracts. So kind of the bridge projects you saw here for design, as well as any highway projects for design. So, I mean, there will be and then there'll be a Fed-funded master for general as well for construction. So what you'll see is 2 target market, 1 for design, 1 for construction management, and 3 for Fed-funded, more general pool. One design for Division of Engineering with highways and structures, 1 design for the Division of Project Development with the Complete Streets Master, and then 1 for construction management.
Got it. Thank you. Yeah, it sounds like there's a lot of different opportunities coming up. We do have a comment about the process with CDOT being complicated, and that there's a lot of documents as compared to like IDOT or the tollway. I mean, with that, I certainly would encourage folks again to reach out to DPS to avail yourselves of. We have additional training and workshops in terms of upcoming construction contracting to kind of just talk through some of the mechanics and process of that. Certainly, it doesn't go bid by bid, but we do want to make sure that all of our vendor community has access to subject matter experts who can kind of take them through the process, and they're the folks who've been reviewing these things for quite some time, so they certainly can help advise and be a resource about those steps from the DPS side of the house. Nathan, I don't know if you wanted to build on that.
No, I mean, we acknowledge that. I think that there's, our work is complex. So unfortunately, our contracts need to be complex as well. We're always looking for opportunities to make things simpler. I think that one of the things you'll see with our masters is we're looking to actually collapse some of our categories to try to reduce complexity there. I think you'll see, definitely with me and others at CDOT, when we're releasing these task orders out there, we're going to try to provide as much context as we can to help with people with putting together proposals. I actually was on the other side of the fence for a while. I was a consultant, so I know what goes into it. I understand it's complex. We'll do our best as well to make sure we're sharing insights with you as you're going through the procurement process. That we'll be hand in hand to make sure we can make it as smooth as possible. We do acknowledge it's complex. It needs to be at some point, but we'll do our best to make it as smooth as possible.
Thank you. Will the engineering DUR be one procurement that includes qualifications and selections for the highway group and the bridge group as compared to two separate procurements for highway engineering and bridge engineering DURs?
Yes, it'll be one master for both.
One master with multiple categories?
Correct. So there'll be some categories for highway designs. There's also be categories for bridge.
Got it. Folks, I am scrolling through our Q&A as well as the chat just to make sure I haven't missed anything. We are just about at time. I think I've gotten everything. If for some reason we have not, Nathan, I'm sure if we've missed anything in the chat, we'll share it with you and we can connect with folks offline. But definitely thank you all. Thank you so much for your presentation. And a thank you to your Commissioner Gia Biaggi and our CPO Shannon Andrews for opening up our session today. We will follow up with any folks if we are missing some questions. And definitely I look forward to having you back at one of our DPS First Look sessions where you can update us and the vendor community about what's going on at CDOT. We're absolutely grateful for your presentation here today. And to those folks that are on the line, we have a series of additional sessions today. We've got 4 more sessions throughout the day. We really hope that you can join us for our other sessions at the Construction Summit. Coming up next is AIS, followed by Planning, the Department of Aviation, as well as the Department of Water Management. As we had mentioned, this deck, as well as a recording of today, will be available at the Construction Summit website, which is www.chicago.gov/construction. So, we certainly look forward to hearing from you all and seeing you in the future. Thank you very much. And with that, we hope to see you at the next session.
Thank you. Thanks, Kathy, for having us.
Absolutely.
All right. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks. Bye.